E3 is always a big week for gaming, and 2018 was no exception. The event in Los Angeles gave us a sneak peek of many upcoming titles from the biggest and the smallest game publishers in the world. The press conferences were full of huge reveals and further looks at titles we saw at last year's expo. Although no new consoles were shown this year, gamers at the show got the chance to play big games due for release soon. We had a chance to see and play many of those titles, and covered a record-setting 57 of them. E3 2018 definitely provided a lot of reason to get excited, and we've compiled a short list of 14 games that stood out from the rest. They are listed in alphabetical order. Anthem. So why make a game like Anthem? Why rewrite the BioWare legacy? In some ways it feels like the game that BioWare has been building to for some time. Studios change with time, and so must the kind of games they make. It's clear they have a different team now who are ready to make something new. And if it looks as fun and as explosive and expansive as what I saw while at E3, I have to say that I'm on board for that. While watching the team play the game, I was ready to stop watching and start playing. Read Anthem preview when February 22, 2019. Where Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a significantly different game from what I saw at E3 2018. Not just a bigger, but a more complex experience. If Origins started Assassin's Creed down the road of feeling like an RPG, Odyssey has taken it to the next level. I had a lot of fun going back and forth between the two islands I could explore, finding missions, talking with characters. To me, this is what's most important to an Assassin's Creed game. The X factor that makes it fun to simply exist in the world. If this is the new Assassin's Creed, sign me up. I haven't been this excited about the franchise in quite some time. Read Assassin's Creed Odyssey preview when October 5, 2018. Where Control. It's nice to see Remedy working independently again, developing across multiple platforms with a project that is unlike their previous efforts. Color me thrilled to see Control eschewing cover-based mechanics in lieu of that same fluid, dynamic shooting that Remedy has done in the past. Control is an eerie and trippy experience, something that feels like the kind of scrappy effort we haven't seen from the studio in some time. Remedy seem to be stretching their legs and looking to tackle new challenges, and with Control it looks like they have something interesting on their hands. Read Control preview when 2019. Where Cyberpunk 2077. With plenty of well-designed mechanics on display, some satisfying depth of player choice, and an intriguing setting, Cyberpunk 2077 was certainly one of the most interesting games we saw at this year's E3. Developer CD Projekt Red clearly has a passion to continue delivering high-quality titles, and so far, their latest effort looks to be a solid one. There is no release window quite yet, but we can expect to see the game on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Read Cyberpunk 2077 preview when TBA. Where Dead or Alive 6. Dead or Alive 6 feels like a return to form for the series, that could see it entering the beat-em-up conversation with other heavy hitters in the community. Its quicker brawling experience combined with a fun counter system manages to competently offer a low barrier to entry with a high skill ceiling. Players can obviously expect online play with a ranking system, though whether this will include a tag battle system from previous entries is, as of yet, still unknown. However, fans of the game or the genre in general will be able to start busting heads in spring 2019. Read Dead or Alive 6 preview when 2019. Where Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 is an interesting evolution in the zombie genre. One of my biggest criticisms of the first game was how familiar it felt in tone and narrative. It's nice to see that the sequel isn't only upping the ante in terms of the size of the world and the gameplay, but also creating a more satisfying narrative experience, bringing in industry veterans to help craft a more memorable story in a world that adapts to the choices of the player. Read Dying Light 2 preview when 2019. Where Forza Horizon 4. Forza Horizon 4 continues to innovate and deliver big, meaningful changes to its formula. It manages to lead not only its own franchise, but the arcade racing genre overall. With excellent presentation, large gameplay changes with the introduction of seasons, and great gameplay variety and fun handling, it's difficult to find faults with Forza Horizon 5's ambitions. If it all comes together as good as it looked at E3 2018, fans should be in for another great racing game this fall. Read Forza Horizon 4 preview when, October 2, 2018 where, Hitman 2 The Last Game showcased the real essence of Hitman with its massive crowds, huge levels, gorgeous graphics, and sheer number of ways you could dispose of your targets. While the original Hitman games were fantastic stealth experiences in their own right, the options current-gen consoles and PCs offer IO Interactive allows them to bring their vision of Hitman to life. Like previous games, Hitman 2 is all about giving you tons of ways to execute your mission, all tied up in beautiful environments that demand mastery of your craft, whether you want to be stealthy, or use a lot of firepower if you're the kind of killer who leaves no witnesses. Read Hitman 2 preview when, in November 13, 2018 where, Marvel's Spider-Man. One of the chief concerns for Spider-Man fans has been the recent decline in the quality of games that we've gotten from the superhero. But in the hands of Insomniac Games, and with the backing of Sony to make this another great PS4 exclusive title, there seems to be little doubt that the game won't at least be well made. From what we've played, fans can rest easy, and those looking for an enjoyable open-world action game should also keep an eye on this title. Read Spider-Man preview when, September 7, 2018 where, Metro Exodus looks to build on the great atmosphere that the franchise has already established, all while continuing to innovate and improve. While it promises an open-world experience, our E3 demo was largely quite linear with just the occasional side path. It was certainly great to be outdoors though, and perhaps the full game will feature more open levels. The shooting and stealth mechanics were satisfying, and the new crafting and customization mechanics will help expand on the depth of the experience. Read Metro Exodus preview when, February 22, 2019 where, Rage 2 the sequel promises a wider variety of larger environments, more enemy factions and monsters, as well as a larger array of abilities and upgrades to play around with. There also looks to be a greater emphasis on vehicular combat, which should serve to rev up the action even further. My demo was but a small segment of the entire campaign experience, but provided a wealth of intensity and entertainment throughout my roughly half-hour run regardless. But one thing's for sure, after my brief but thrilling visit into the post-apocalyptic realm of the Wasteland, I'm looking forward to delving deeper into the action. Read Rage 2 preview when, 2019 where, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice promising blood, brutality, punishing gameplay, and all the other elements we've come to expect from Software. Sekiro is a third-person, action-adventure game featuring RPG elements. Players take the role of a ninja warrior on a mission is to rescue his master, a young lord, and exact gory revenge along the way. Sekiro seems to be a very strong next step from the team at From Software, combining what fans love with new features to freshen up their latest offering. Read Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice preview when, 2019 where, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Super Smash Bros. Ultimate should no doubt satisfy diehards of the series, as well as general fans of party and fighting games. It looks to do so with a foundation of structurally sturdy, fast-paced mechanics, and a seemingly endless plethora of features including characters, stages, settings, and items. In an age where esports and tournament events are gaining influence at a rapid pace, Ultimate should fit right into the scene and provide a solid platform of choice for those who yearn for competitive gaming. Read Super Smash Bros. Ultimate preview when, December 7, 2018 where, The Division 2 was not the flashiest or the most heavily promoted game at E3 2018. But it didn't really need to be, building on the incredibly solid foundation of the first game, which started off strong and only got better over time. Ubisoft should feel confident that this sequel will satisfy returning fans and should bring in some new audiences. From what we've seen and been promised at E3, the Division 2 offers the same great gameplay mechanics, more options, and expanded endgame. Read, The Division 2 preview when? March 15, 2019 where? Thanks for reading, and remember this is just the games that stood out the most. We saw tons more at E3 2018, so head over to our previews section and get caught up on the latest.